Hi there, my name is Patrick, and today I'm going to show you how the automated AI automation developer works for you in your system. We have here an SAP system where we're going to show a process to the assistant in a second, and on the left side an input data sample that we use for the process. This could be any kind of data from an email, from a different system, from a web page, doesn't really matter. In the middle, we see the automated assistant where you now have two options to create your own automation. Either you chat with the AI developer or you start a recording and show the AI developer the process. Let's do the voice recording and let the AI assistant see how the process is done. Please start by clicking Maintain PRIs. Once the page is loaded, please extract the material name from this element and then fill the material name into this field. After that, you need to select Yes in this dropdown. Then click on Go. Mark the first material in the list by ticking the checkbox here. Then click on Edit and wait for the page to load. Then you need the month from this date in this element here, and you also need the amount from this field. And then please find the relevant column in this table and enter the amount. Entering is the addition to the current value plus the value that is provided. The month is given in a different format. So for example, for May, it would be M05.2024, or for September, it would be M09.2024. So if you want to put September, put it into M09.2024 and add the value. That's all you need to know. Now I'm going to send the recording to the AI developer, and the AI developer starts to process my recording and will in the background see if there's any open questions that are necessary to be answered in order to build a good automation. And you see here that there's quite some information stored by the assistant. So our conversation. What you also see is, for example, the elements that we have marked. So we can see here, for example, that we marked this element in SAP, or if we scroll a little up, we see that, for example, we marked this field here. That gives us nice control over it. In case something is wrong, we can always undo messages, starting with the last message and then going as far back as we like. So we've marked 10 elements, and now we see that the system is thinking about potential context questions, which now is for us waiting time, so we can do whatever we want to do in the background while the system was working, and then answer the questions that are coming up. And here we have the first question. What should we do if the material name extracted doesn't exist in the SAP S/4HANA system? Then we basically stop the automation, so we have some proposals here, and notify me to check the material name. I could also type whatever other answer I want to have. In this case, option 2 is great for me. This question cycle is also really relevant for the automation to work properly with different edge cases. So the system, in this case, as mentioned, is asking for the material name and what happens if it doesn't happen. And there might be other cases that I haven't thought about while explaining our process. And here we have a second one. What should we do after updating the amount in SAP for HANA? Should we save it? In this case, we just skip the save, but we can also add clicking on the save button. We just say do nothing and let us handle basically the saving manually. So we do that in this case. Okay, here we have the next question. What should we do if the relevant month column for entering the amount does not exist? There's different options as well, but again here we say just, we can also write something in this case, for example, the relevant column will be available. Okay, now it seems like we have provided all the information the system needs for now. So we can review the process description that we have here. So we start by maintaining, clicking PRI, grab the material name, enter it into SAP, select yes, click on go. Then it gets selected, the first material in the list, click on edit, and then basically get the date and the amount and add it into the table in SAP. And that sounds great. So I just give a yes here. And then the system starts to build the automation now. So this might take a few minutes depending on the length and the complexity of the case. And once the automation building is completed by the AI developer, it will notify me and we will be able to test our automation. While we do that, we can, again, do whatever we like to do, get a coffee, do some other work. In this case, I'm just going to reset the page so that we start where also the process is starting. And we see that we have some values here that are good. So there's nothing empty. So we're good to go once the automation is built. Okay, now we see that the system has built an automation, which appeared now in our SAP system. And it took only, what is this, like 3-4 minutes until the automation was ready. So now we can test the automation by clicking on the button directly in our SAP system. So let's give it a try. So what we see now, it seems like everything went fine until we reached this point of the automation. And now the system figures out there's probably something not working. So it will take a little bit until the system has done a few trials in the background. And then it's going to start fixing the automation in the next trial. Now we also get the visual confirmation that an error occurred during the execution of the automation, and the smart button was disabled. So if we go back, we see also that the button now is missing, and the system is now trying to fix the automation while we can go back to the work that we did before. Okay, here's the new smart button version 4. Let's do the same. Let's execute the smart button and see what is happening. Page is loaded. That works. And we see that the amount is entered at the right spot. So everything is fine as planned. Good, and now we get the positive confirmation message here. So let's give this another try and see that it doesn't work only in this case. So we just click the randomize button in this case to get some new data. So for example, let's take July, a different material, different amount. Let's take something like this, and we click the smart button again, and it should actually do the work for us again. Here you go, it's the correct month, it's the correct amount, and it's also the correct material. And this is a simple way to create any kind of automation, and I could start now to build my next automation directly in SAP by clicking Start my new automation, but I can also go back to the My Automations tab and give this automation a new name. So for example, material, planning, process, and when I save it, then we'll see once I refresh the page, or this actually immediately do this, that I change the name of the smart button here. And I can also here now rename or also disable the automation. And I can go back to my automation and just refine it in case there's something required. Cool. So this is how easy it is to create an automation with our AI automation developer in any kind of system. If you want to have a solution like this for you and your team to be more self-sufficient when it comes to automating your daily repetitive tasks, reach out and we're happy to guide you through how this works. Thanks a lot. Speak soon.